you already feel it. That quiet tension inside you, the sense that you are capable of more. You have seen moments when you rise and moments when you settle. You know the difference. High performers are not louder. They are not luckier. They live by a standard that does not bend. Right now you are standing at a line. On one side is comfort, on the other is growth. You can feel the pull, the hesitation, the truth you cannot ignore. This is not about motivation. Motivation fades, motion fades. Breathe, standards remain. Breathe, listen, stay here. Because this moment is not passing, it is choosing you. Stand up inside your mind. Lift your eyes. Let the noise fall away. This is the moment everything changes for you. Not someday, not later, now. Your old limits loosen. A new identity steps forward. And once you step into it, there is no return forward. Chapter 1. The line you no longer cross. There comes a moment when something inside you tightens. Not fear, not doubt. Clarity. You feel it when you stay up late knowing you should rest. You feel it when you delay what matters. You feel it when you delay what matters. You feel it when you accept less than you know you can give. That feeling is not weakness, it is awareness. You are beginning to notice the line. Every person has one. Most ignore it. High performers do not. The line is invisible. No one announces it. No one enforces it for you. But once you see it, you cannot unsee it. This line separates who you have been from who you are becoming. On one side is convenience. On the other is self-respect. External pressure can push you for a while. Deadlines, expectations, consequences, but pressure fades. Discipline does not. High performers are not driven by fear of punishment. They are driven by refusal to violate their own standard. They do not ask, can I get away with this? They ask, does this match who I am? That question changes everything. Right now, you are not fighting the world. You are facing yourself. Your old self knew how to justify, how to delay, how to soften promises. Your new self is quieter, sharper, unwilling to negotiate. This is the first conflict, not loud, not dramatic, but decisive. You feel it when you almost quit. You feel it when you almost compromise. You feel it when you almost compromise. You feel it when you almost lower the bar. And then something stops you. Enough. That word lands differently now. Enough excuses, enough waiting, enough explaining. Stand up, not physically, internally. Stand up to the version of you that keeps choosing comfort. You have crossed lines before, ignored instincts, lowered expectations. You survived, but you did not grow. Growth begins the moment survival is no longer enough. High performers set rules for themselves before the world does. Rules about effort, rules about honesty, rules about honesty. They do not wait to feel like it. They do not ask for permission. They decide how they show up, decide how they speak to themselves, decide what they will no longer tolerate. This is not about perfection. It is about standards. A standard is not a goal. A goal is something you chase. A standard is something you live. When your standard rises, your behavior follows. Think of the moments you regret most. They are not moments of failure. They are moments of self-betrayal. Moments of self-betrayal. Moments when you knew better. Moments when you chose lower. That is the line you no longer cross. You do not need applause for this decision. You do not need validation. This is between you and you. Your old self will resist. It will remind you of effort, of discomfort, of risk. Let it speak, then let it go quiet. Because the new standard does not argue, it acts. When new standard does not argue, it acts. When you say you will do something, you do it. When you commit fully. When you are tired, you remain precise. This is where identity begins to shift, not in motivation, in behavior. You start keeping promises you used to break. You start finishing what you used to abandon. You start respecting your own word, and something changes. Confidence no longer depends on results. It comes from alignment. You trust yourself again. Relief comes quietly, not as celebration, as steadiness. You feel less scattered, less divided. Because indecision drains energy, standards restore it. You are no longer negotiating with yourself all day. You already decided, this is who I am, this is how I move. The world responds differently to people like this, not because they demand respect, because they embody it. You begin to notice fewer excuses forming in your mind, not because life is easier, because your tolerance is lower. Lower tolerance for distraction, lower tolerance for self-deception, lower tolerance for quitting. Imagine who you become when quitting is no longer an option. Not dramatic, not extreme, just unavailable. Unavailable to mediocrity, unavailable to half-effort, unavailable to the version of you that almost tries. This is the first line. You will draw others later, sharper ones, higher ones, but this one matters most, because from this point forward, you are no longer asking what is required. You are no longer asking what is required. You are asking what is worthy. Stand up, decide, enough. And as you step forward with this new internal rule, feel the weight of it settle in. Not heavy, grounding. Because once you stop crossing this line, the next challenge will appear, and it will ask more of you. Chapter 2. Discipline before motivation. There is a quiet trap that keeps capable people waiting. It sounds reasonable, it feels logical, it waits patiently. I will start when I feel ready. You have heard that voice before. Soft, convincing, comfortable. Motivation feels powerful. When it arrives, everything feels possible. Energy rises, focus sharpens, but motivation is not loyal. It comes and goes. It responds to mood. It bends under pressure. High performers learn this early. They do not depend on emotion to decide their actions. They build something stronger. Discipline. Discipline is not force. It is not punishment. It is independence. Emotional independence. It means you move whether you feel like it or not. You act before emotion gives permission. You choose first. Feeling follows. This is where most people hesitate. They wait for confidence. They wait for clarity. They wait for the right moment. And time keeps moving. Average lives are built in that waiting. High performers move anyway. They understand a simple truth. Emotion is a result, not a requirement. You do not feel motivated and then act. You act and motivation appears behind you. Think about the moments you are proud of. They rarely began with excitement. They began with resistance. Getting started felt heavy. Continuing felt uncomfortable. Finishing felt empowering. That sequence matters. Discipline teaches your nervous system that you are in charge, not your mood, not your energy level, not your fear. You decide. This is not about becoming rigid. It is about becoming reliable. Reliable to yourself. Your old self negotiated constantly, checked feelings, searched for signals. Your new self is quieter. It does not ask how it feels. It asks what is required. That question cuts through hesitation. Delayed gratification becomes possible here, not because you deny yourself joy, but because you prioritize growth. You choose effort now, so ease can exist later. You choose consistency now, so freedom arrives later. Most people want freedom first. They want ease before effort. They want reward before work. Discipline reverses the order. Work first, reward later. Silence becomes important at this stage. Not silence from the world, silence inside. You stop announcing plans, you stop seeking encouragement, you stop explaining delays, you simply act. Consistency grows in quiet spaces. This is the metaphor few understand. Training when no one is watching, no audience, no recognition, no immediate payoff, just you, showing up again. This is where identity is forged. When no one claps, when no one checks, when quitting would be easy. You move anyway. Move anyway. Say it slowly. Let it settle. Move anyway. You do not need excitement to begin. You do not need certainty to continue. You do not need certainty to continue. You do not need approval to finish. Discipline carries you through uncertainty. It gives structure to days when motivation disappears. It gives direction when emotion is noisy, and something shifts. You begin to trust yourself, not because you always feel strong, but because you show up regardless. Trust builds confidence faster than success ever could. You start to notice a change in how you speak to yourself. Less pleading, more command. Less "I hope," more "I will." This is emotional leadership. You are no longer led by impulse. You lead it. There will be days when energy is low, days when effort feels heavy, days when excuses feel reasonable. Discipline does not argue with those days. It moves through them. Do it now. Not perfectly, not dramatically, not dramatically. Now, that simple command removes delay. It breaks the spell of waiting. Do it now. When you act immediately, resistance has no time to grow. Hesitation feeds doubt. Action starts it. Relief follows action, not because the task disappears, but because indecision does. Indecision drains energy faster than effort ever will. Once you start, momentum begins to carry you. Empowerment arrives quietly. You realize you are capable of operating without emotional permission. You realize your output does not depend on your mood. That realization changes your posture, your tone, your presence. You stop rushing. You stop forcing. You become steady. The steadiness is visible. Others feel it, not because you announce it, because it shows. High performers do not appear frantic. They appear grounded. They move with intention. They speak with certainty. They act without drama. Discipline simplifies life. Fewer decisions, fewer negotiations, fewer emotional swings. You already know what you will do. That clarity is calming, and when results arrive, they feel earned, not lucky, not accidental. Earned. This reinforces the cycle. Action creates confidence. Confidence supports discipline. Discipline sustains action. Repeat. There will still be moments of doubt, moments of fatigue, moments of resistance. Those moments do not disappear. Your response to them does. You stop asking if you feel ready. You remind yourself who you are becoming. This is the identity shift. You are becoming someone who moves first, someone who follows through, someone who does not wait. Listener affirmation. Say it clearly. I am ready. Not because everything feels perfect, but because you are done waiting. I am ready. Let that be enough. As this discipline strengthens, a new challenge will emerge. Because once you stop waiting for motivation, you must face something deeper. The identity that shaped your old habits. Chapter 3. Identity always wins. There is something stronger than discipline, stronger than motivation, stronger than willpower. Identity. You can feel motivated for a moment. You can force discipline for a season. But identity decides what lasts. This is where everything becomes honest. Because goals are external. They sit in the future. They look impressive on paper. Identity lives inside you. It shapes how you act when no one is watching. It decides what you do under pressure. It determines what you tolerate. You do not rise to goals. You fall to identity. Read that slowly. We do not rise to goals. You fall to identity. This is why so many capable people keep repeating the same patterns. They set higher goals. They make bigger plans. They promise stronger effort. But they return to familiar behavior. Not because they are weak, because their identity has not changed. Your identity is the story you believe about who you are. Not the one you tell others, the one you live. It shows up in your internal dialogue, the way you explain setbacks, the way you justify delays, the way you interpret effort. Listen closely to your thoughts, not to judge them, to understand them. Do they sound certain or conditional? Do they move forward or look for exits? Do they reinforce strength or protect comfort? This voice has been speaking for years, quietly shaping your decisions. If your identity says, I am someone who struggles with consistency, your behavior will match. If your identity says, I am someone who finishes, your actions will align. This is not about pretending. It is about choosing who you are becoming. Right now, you are standing between identities. The old one is familiar. It knows your habits. It understands your limits. The new one feels unfamiliar, uncertain, and demanding. That discomfort is not danger. It is transition. Identity shifts always feel unstable at first, because the old version of you will resist being replaced. It will remind you of past failures, of times you tried and stopped. It will say, "This is just how you are." That sentence has kept more people small than any obstacle ever could. This is where you intervene. You do not argue emotionally. You do not fight aggressively. You decide deliberately. Choose who you are becoming. Say it internally, without noise, without performance. Choose who you are becoming. Identity is built through evidence, not affirmations alone, not wishes, evidence. Every action you take casts a vote for the person you believe you are. Small actions matter more than dramatic ones. Consistency matters more than intensity. You become what you repeatedly prove to yourself. This is why discipline without identity feels heavy. It feels like forcing behavior against belief. When identity changes, behavior feels natural. The work becomes lighter, not easier, but aligned. This is where resilience is not toughness, it is coherence. When your actions match your self-image, resistance loses power. Setbacks still occur, pressure still exists, but you do not collapse inward. You recover faster, you respond with clarity, you continue. This is because your identity absorbs the impact. You are no longer someone trying to succeed. You are someone who operates a certain way. High performers do not think in terms of outcomes first. They think in terms of standards and identity. They ask, what would someone like me do now? That question eliminates confusion. Imagine your future self for a moment. Not the version defined by achievements, the version defined by behavior. How does that version respond to discomfort? How does that version manage time? How does that version speak internally? Picture it clearly. This future self does not rush, does not hesitate, does not over-explain. They act with calm certainty. They do not rely on emotional highs. They rely on internal alignment. This visualization is not fantasy, it is rehearsal. Your mind needs a reference point. Without it, it defaults to the past. You are teaching yourself a new way to respond. Act like it. That command is simple and powerful. Act like the person you are becoming. Not later. Now, when you face a decision, pause briefly, then act in alignment. This does not require perfection. It requires direction. Direction builds momentum. Momentum builds belief. Belief reinforces identity. Repeat. Your internal dialogue begins to change here. The tone shifts. Less self-questioning, less negotiation, more instruction, more clarity. You stop asking, can I? You start saying, this is what I do. This language matters. Words shape perception, shapes behavior. When you describe yourself differently, you move differently. This is not arrogance. It is responsibility. You are responsible for the identity you reinforce daily. Every shortcut strengthens an old identity. Every follow-through strengthens the new one. There is no neutral action. Each choice leans one direction. Each choice leans one direction. This awareness is empowering, not heavy, because it gives you control. You are not waiting for change. You are creating it, moment by moment. There will be days when the old identity speaks louder, days when fatigue lowers your resolve. That does not erase progress. Identity is not fragile, it is cumulative. We do not lose it in one moment. You build it over many. Return to the standard. Return to the decision. Choose who you are becoming. Act like it. Relief comes when alignment replaces conflict. You stop pulling yourself in opposite directions. You stop starting over repeatedly. You become steady. That steadiness creates confidence others can feel. Not loud confidence, grounded confidence. The kind that does not seek approval. The kind that does not collapse under pressure. This is leadership at its root, leading yourself first. When identity stabilizes, habits organize themselves. You no longer force routines, you live them. You do not chase resilience, you embody it, because resilience is not something you do, it is who you are. Say the affirmation slowly. I decide who I become. Not once. Daily. I decide who I become. Not once. Daily. I decide who I become. Let that decision carry weight. Because once you accept that responsibility, excuses lose their grip. You stop blaming circumstances. You stop waiting for conditions. You act from identity. And when you do, the world begins to respond differently. Opportunities align, people notice, results follow, not because you chase them, because you operate from a higher internal standard. This is not the end of the shift, it is the foundation. Because one's identity is chosen, the next challenge is protecting it, and that will require a new level of honesty. Chapter 4. Standards eliminate excuses. Excuses do not appear suddenly. They form slowly, quietly. They grow in the spaces where clarity is missing. An excuse is not a lie. It is a soft explanation you accept too easily. You tell yourself you're tired. That timing is off. That conditions are not ideal. Each reason sounds reasonable. Each one feels justified. But notice this, excuses only survive when standards are unclear. When your standard is low, excuses feel harmless. When your standard is firm, excuses feel out of place. This chapter is about that shift. Not about blaming yourself, not about forcing effort, about honesty. Be honest, not harsh. Clear. Honesty is the beginning of leadership. Personal leadership does not start with others. It starts with what you allow yourself to say internally. Listen to your explanations. Do they protect growth or protect comfort? Comfort is persuasive. It speaks calmly. It promises relief. But comfort always asks for something in return. Time, momentum, potential. High performers understand this exchange. They do not hate comfort. They simply do not let it lead. Excuses are comfort wearing logic. That is why they are dangerous. They do not feel like weakness. They feel like intelligence. I will do it later. I need more information. Now is not the right moment. Each sentence delays action without sounding like quitting, but delay repeated enough times becomes identity. Standards interrupt that pattern. A standard is a clear rule you do not debate daily. It removes choice. When the standard is set, excuses have nowhere to attach. You do not ask how you feel. You do not weigh options. You act. This does not make you rigid. It makes you decisive. Decisiveness is relief. Indecision creates fatigue. Standards create simplicity. Most people think excuses disappear when life improves. High performers know better. Excuses disappear when standards rise. You do not need perfect conditions to act. You do not need perfect conditions to act. You need clear boundaries. Boundaries around effort. Boundaries around time. Boundaries around self-respect. This is where self-honesty becomes uncomfortable, because excuses often hide behind good intentions. You want to do well. You plan to improve. You mean to start. Intentions without action still cost you. Be honest. Ask yourself one question. If someone else did exactly what I am doing now, would I call it discipline or avoidance? That question cuts through emotion. Personal leadership requires confronting answers you may not like, not to punish yourself. To correct direction, correction is strength. Excuses thrive in emotional fog. Standards create visibility. Once you see clearly, you cannot pretend. This is why the shift feels tense. You are no longer distracted by circumstances. You are focused on responsibility. Responsibility does not mean blame. It means ownership. Ownership of choices. Ownership of outcomes. When you take ownership, excuses lose power. You stop saying, I couldn't. You start saying, I didn't. That language change matters. I couldn't suggests lack of control. I didn't restores it. Control brings calm. You feel less defensive, less reactive, because you are no longer protecting a story. You are leading yourself. Lead yourself. That command is simple and demanding. Leading yourself means you do not wait to be pushed. You move because you decided to. It means you do not lower standards to match mood. You elevate behavior to match commitment. This is the emotional confrontation with comfort. Comfort will argue. It will remind you of effort, of fatigue, of uncertainty. Let it speak. then return to your standard. High performers do not eliminate excuses by fighting them. They eliminate excuses by outgrowing them. The standard becomes non-negotiable. When effort is expected, excuses sound irrelevant. When integrity is required, shortcuts feel obvious. You begin to notice how often you used to explain delays, explain missed opportunities, explain unfinished work. Explanation feels like progress. It is not. Action is progress. Standards shift focus from explanation to execution. This does not make life harder, it makes it cleaner. Fewer internal debates, fewer emotional loops. You already know what you will do. That certainty is freeing. There is relief in removing choice. When the standard is set, you are not constantly deciding, you are following through. Follow-through builds trust. Trust builds confidence. Confidence reduces excuses further. This is a reinforcing cycle. Notice how excuses often appear at the edge of discomfort. Just before effort, just before risk, just before growth. That is not coincidence. Excuses are signals. They signal that you are approaching a boundary. The question is whether you retreat or redefine the boundary. Standards redefine it. You move the line forward. What once felt demanding becomes expected. What once felt optional becomes normal. This is growth without drama, quiet, consistent, intentional. You stop needing external pressure. Deadlines become internal. Expectations become self-imposed. This is leadership, not control over others. Control over yourself. Lead yourself. Say it again, lead yourself. Leadership requires emotional maturity. It means you can feel discomfort without obeying it. You can acknowledge fatigue without surrendering to it. You can notice fear without letting it decide. This is not suppression, it is direction. You are not ignoring emotion, you are prioritizing values. Values form standards, guide behavior, shapes identity. Excuses disrupt that chain. Standards restore it. You may notice resistance here. A subtle urge to soften the message, to make room for exceptions. Be honest. Exceptions become patterns quickly. Standards lose power when they bend. This does not mean rigidity, it means clarity. You can rest intentionally. You can rest intentionally. You can pause strategically. But you do not escape through excuses. Rest is planned. Excuses are reactive. High performers know the difference. They do not shame themselves when needing rest. They schedule it. They do not explain missed effort. They prevent it. This requires foresight. Foresight comes from leadership. Leadership begins internally. When you lead yourself well, you stop wasting energy justifying behavior. That energy becomes available for growth. You feel stronger not because life is easier, but because you are no longer divided. Division weakens, alignment strengthens. Standards create alignment. Your words match your actions. Your intentions match your output. This coherence builds quiet confidence. You trust yourself. That trust is earned. Every time you choose action over excuse, you reinforce it. Every time you confront comfort honestly, you grow. This growth is not loud, but it is undeniable. Others may not notice immediately. You will. You will feel less tolerance for delay, less patience for self-deception, not harshness. Precision. Precision is calm. It does not rush. It does not argue. It executes. Be honest with yourself about effort, about avoidance, about standards. Honesty does not weaken you. It focuses you, and focus sharpens leadership. As your standards solidify, you will notice fewer excuses forming, not because you are forcing them away, because they no longer fit. You are becoming someone who does not need them. This is the quiet transformation, the one that does not seek validation, the one that does not announce itself. It simply changes how you show up. And as excuses disappear, a new responsibility emerges. Because when there is nothing left to blame, there is only one place to look, at the standard itself, and whether you are ready to raise it again. Chapter 5. The power of quiet consistency. There is a kind of strength that does not announce itself. It does not demand attention. It does not seek recognition. It grows quietly. Most people misunderstand power. They associate it with noise. with visibility, with urgency. High performers learn a different lesson. Real power is calm. It does not rush to prove itself. It does not need witnesses. Quiet consistency builds what intensity cannot sustain. This chapter is about that discipline, not the dramatic kind, the patient kind. Silence becomes important here. Not silence because you are unsure. Silence because you are certain. You stop talking about what you are going to do. You stop explaining your plans. You stop broadcasting effort, not out of secrecy, out of focus. Every announcement leaks energy. Every explanation dilutes intent. When you speak less, you preserve force. This is not withdrawal. It is concentration. You are learning to move without noise. Consistency thrives in quiet spaces, when no one is watching, when no one is counting, when no one is counting, when no one is impressed. This is where most people drift. They need feedback to continue. They need praise to persist. They need visibility to feel progress. Quiet consistency does not rely on that. It relies on repetition, small actions, repeated daily, without interruption. This is compounding effort, not exciting, not immediate, powerful. Most people underestimate compounding because it does not feel dramatic. The results are invisible at first, then sudden. What looks like overnight success is usually quiet consistency stacked over time. High performers trust this process. They do not rush the curve, they stay on it. Staying requires restraint. Restraint from seeking approval, restraint from changing direction too often, restraint from reacting emotionally to slow progress. Silence supports restraint. You protect your routine by not inviting opinions. You protect your focus by limiting exposure. You protect your momentum by staying private. This is not isolation, it is discipline. When your work becomes quiet, your confidence becomes calm. Calm confidence is different from bravado. Bravado seeks validation. Calm confidence does not. It shows up steady, prepared, unshaken. People feel it before they understand it. This confidence is built through evidence, not big wins, daily follow-through. Every day you show up as promised, you reinforce belief. Belief becomes internal. You no longer need to convince yourself. You no longer need to convince yourself. You know that knowing is grounding. It removes urgency. It removes comparison. It removes panic. You stop rushing outcomes. You trust accumulation. This trust changes how you move through time. You become patient without becoming passive. Patient means you understand timing. Passive means you avoid effort. Quiet consistency is active patience. You work while others talk. You prepare while others react. You build while others compare. This is not superiority, it is choice. You chose a different strategy. Silence also protects you from distraction. When you announce plans, you invite feedback. Feedback is rarely neutral. It brings opinions, doubts, suggestions. Each one pulls your attention outward. Quiet consistency keeps attention inward. On process, on execution, on alignment, you become less reactive, not because you ignore the world, because you are anchored. Anchors do not move with waves, they hold. This holding is strength. There will be days when effort feels repetitive, days when progress feels slow, days when no one notices. Those days are essential. They train endurance. Endurance is not dramatic, it is reliable. Reliable outperforms bursts of intensity every time. Consistency trains your nervous system. It learns that showing up is normal, not an event. This normalization reduces friction. What once required motivation becomes automatic. You do not debate, you begin. This frees mental space. You stop overthinking, you stop negotiating, you act. Acting consistently builds calm confidence. Confidence rooted in repetition is stable. It does not inflate with success. It does not collapse with setbacks, because it is not dependent on outcomes. It is dependent on behavior. Behavior you control. This is empowerment. Quiet consistency also teaches humility. You learn that progress does not require attention. You learn that growth does not need applause. You become comfortable working without witnesses. That comfort is rare, Most people perform only when observed. They slow when unseen. High performers reverse that pattern. They work hardest in private. This is where standards deepen, not because anyone is watching. Because you become your own witness. That changes accountability. You are no longer trying to look disciplined, you are being disciplined. This distinction matters. Looking disciplined fades quickly. Being disciplined compounds. You may feel moments of impatience here, a desire to speed things up, to show progress, to confirm it is working. That urge is natural. Do not follow it. Silence is protecting you from premature exposure. Growth exposed too early becomes fragile. Quiet growth strengthens roots. Roots matter. Strong roots support visible success later. Weak roots collapse under pressure. High performers build roots first. They understand that consistency creates capacity. Capacity to handle pressure, capacity to sustain results, capacity to lead. Leadership requires calm. Calm is built through repetition. When you have repeated something thousands of times, you do not panic when conditions change. You adjust. Adjustment is a form of confidence, not rigid, responsive. This responsiveness comes from mastery. Mastery is quiet. It does not advertise itself. It reveals itself when needed. Consistency also refines self-trust. Every time you show up without drama, you reinforce reliability. Reliability becomes identity. You start to see yourself as someone who does not miss, does not drift, does not disappear when effort is required. This identity stabilizes everything else. Your planning improves. Your time management sharpens. Your emotional swings lessen because consistency regulates emotion. Irregular effort creates emotional spikes. Consistency smooths them. You stop riding highs and lows. You operate in a steady range. This steadiness is powerful. It allows long-term thinking. You stop asking what will happen tomorrow. You start preparing for who you will be years from now. Quiet consistency aligns you with that future self. Every repeated action is a message sent forward in time. It says, I am preparing for you. That is leadership across time. You lead your future self by acting well today. This perspective changes urgency. You stop rushing for validation. You start investing in alignment. Alignment feels peaceful. Peace does not mean ease. It means coherence. Your actions, values, and identity match. When they match, energy flows. You feel less resistance, not because tasks are lighter, because there is no internal conflict. Conflict drains energy faster than work. Quiet consistency removes conflict. You are no longer arguing with yourself daily. You already decided. This decision is reaffirmed each day through action. That reaffirmation is grounding. You may notice fewer words forming in your mind. Less self-talk, less commentary, more doing. This mental quiet is a sign of maturity. You are no longer processing every move emotionally. You are executing. Execution does not require narration. Silence becomes your ally. You speak when it matters. You move when it counts. Others may not understand this phase. They may wonder why you are quieter, why you share less, why you seem more reserved. You do not need to explain. Explanations invite misunderstanding. Results will speak later. Quiet consistency is not invisible forever. It is simply delayed. And delay is intentional. When results appear, they will not need explanation. They will stand on their own. Until then, you remain steady. This steadiness builds authority. Authority does not come from volume. It comes from presence. Presence is felt. It does not announce itself. Calm confidence changes how others respond to you. They trust your words more. They take your silence seriously. Because silence backed by consistency has weight. You do not fill space unnecessarily. You do not react impulsively. You respond deliberately. This deliberateness is leadership, not loud leadership, grounded leadership, the kind that holds under pressure. You will face moments where breaking silence feels tempting, moments where announcing progress feels validating. Pause. Ask yourself one question. Is this for alignment or attention? That question protects discipline. Attention fades quickly. Alignment lasts. Choose alignment. Choose repetition. Choose quiet consistency. Listener affirmation. Say it with certainty. I rise, not because others see it, but because you are building it. I rise. Every day you show up quietly, you rise. Every day you show up quietly, you rise. Every time you repeat effort without applause, you rise. This rise is internal first. External results follow later. Do not rush that order. This is the power of quiet consistency. It is patient, it is disciplined, it is relentless. It does not shout, it does not chase, it builds. And as it builds, it prepares you for something more demanding. Because consistency creates stability, and stability invites pressure. Soon, pressure will test what you have built, not to break you, to reveal you. And when that pressure arrives, you'll discover that quiet consistency has been preparing you all along. Chapter 6. Pressure is proof of growth. Pressure arrives quietly at first, a tightening in your chest, a narrowing of attention, a sense that more is being asked of you. This is the moment many misinterpret. They assume pressure means something is wrong, that they are behind, that they have made a mistake. High performers learn a different meaning. Pressure is not punishment. Pressure is confirmation. It means you are no longer operating at your old level. If nothing inside you felt strained, you would still be standing where you started. Growth demands space. Pressure is what creates it. Consider how strength is built. Muscle grows only when resistance exceeds comfort. Bones strengthen under load. Capacity expands when limits are tested. Your internal world works the same way. Pressure is not the enemy. Avoidance is. Discomfort is not failure. Stagnation is. This chapter requires a recalibration, not of your goals, of your interpretation. When pressure rises, your mind looks for relief. It searches for exits. It suggests retreat. That response is automatic. It is biological. But leadership is learned behavior, layered over instinct. You are learning to regulate emotion rather than obey it. Emotional regulation does not mean suppression. It means understanding what emotion is signaling. Pressure signals expansion. Your current structure is being stretched. That stretch feels unfamiliar, unstable, demanding. This is not the moment to panic. It is the moment to stabilize. Stability under pressure is resilience. Resilience is not toughness alone. It is adaptability. You are not meant to resist pressure blindly. You are not meant to resist pressure blindly. You are meant to meet it intelligently. Breathe, not to escape the moment, to anchor within it. When pressure rises, slow your reaction, not your action. Slowing reaction creates clarity. Clarity allows direction. Pressure often arrives alongside uncertainty. You are doing something new, something unfamiliar, something without guarantees. That uncertainty amplifies sensation. Your body responds as if threatened. But pause and assess. Is this pressure signaling danger, or is it signaling demand? Demand for focus, demand for presence, demand for growth. High performers learn to distinguish between harm and challenge. Harm depletes, challenge develops. Challenge develops. Pressure that accompanies growth strengthens over time. You become more capable. What once felt overwhelming becomes manageable. What once felt intense becomes normal. This is adaptation. Your nervous system learns that pressure is survivable. Not only survivable, useful. Once you accept that pressure is part of expansion, fear loosens its grip. Fear thrives on interpretation. Change the interpretation, and fear changes form. Pressure becomes information. It tells you where your edge is. Edges are important. Edges mark boundaries of capacity. If you never reach an edge, you never expand. Comfort has no edges, growth does. This is why comfort feels safe, but limits progress. Pressure invites evolution. The question is not how to avoid pressure, it is how to carry it. Carrying pressure requires structure. This is where your standards matter. Standards stabilize you when pressure intensifies. They remove emotional decision-making. You already decided how you show up. Pressure does not get to renegotiate that. This is emotional leadership. You lead yourself through intensity. You do not collapse inward. You do not scatter. You narrow focus. Focus is the antidote to overwhelm. When pressure rises, reduce the scope of attention. Do not think about everything. Think about the next action, the next step, the next breath, the next decision. Pressure feels heavy when you carry it all at once. It becomes manageable when you break it down. This is not avoidance, it is strategy. Resilience metaphors help here. Think of pressure like water pushing against a dam. A weak dam panics. It cracks. It leaks. A strong dam channels pressure. It holds. It directs. It converts force into energy. You are learning to become that structure. Not rigid, engineered. Pressure tests design. If something fails, it reveals where reinforcement is needed. This feedback is valuable. Pressure exposes weakness, so strength can be built. Without pressure, flaws remain hidden. Hidden flaws collapse later, often under greater cost. High performers prefer early pressure. They invite it, not recklessly, deliberately. They know pressure now prevents breakdown later. This mindset transforms resilience. You stop seeing pressure as interruption. You see it as training. Training does not feel comfortable. It feels purposeful. Purpose reframes sensation. When you know why something hurts, you tolerate it better. Pressure without meaning feels unbearable. Pressure with meaning feels challenging. This is why clarity of purpose matters. You are not enduring pressure randomly. You are stepping into your next level. Say that internally. I am stepping into my next level. Pressure confirms movement. Stillness has no pressure. This realization changes posture. You stop shrinking. You stop apologizing for intensity. You accept that growth demands more from you. More focus, more precision, more emotional maturity. Emotional maturity means you can feel discomfort without dramatizing it. You do not make pressure mean you are failing. You let it mean you are expanding. This is a powerful shift. It allows you to stay present instead of reactive. Pressure tries to pull you into the future, into imagined outcomes, worst-case scenarios, hypotheticals. Return to the present. What is required now? Not tomorrow, not later, now. This question grounds you. Grounding reduces panic. Panic narrows thinking. Grounding restores it. You are not meant to eliminate pressure. You are meant to become capable of holding it. Capacity is built through repetition. The first time pressure arrives, it feels overwhelming. The second time, familiar. The third time, manageable. Eventually, it feels expected. What once shook you becomes background noise. This is growth. You do not notice it happening. You notice it when old stress no longer disrupts you. That calm under pressure is earned, not through avoidance, through exposure. You showed up anyway. You stayed anyway. You learned anyway. Pressure tests commitment. It asks, are you serious? Seriousness is revealed under strain. Words disappear. Intentions fade. Only behavior remains. Pressure strips away pretense. That can feel confronting, but it is honest. Honesty accelerates growth. You learn what you can handle, where you need support, what must change. Pressure forces prioritization. Under pressure, distractions lose appeal. Trivial concerns fall away. You focus on essentials. This simplification is valuable. It clears mental clutter. You realize how much energy was wasted on non-essential worries. Pressure sharpens. Sharpness improves performance. This is why elite environments feel intense. They compress feedback. You learn faster. You adapt quicker. You will become precise. Precision reduces wasted effort. Reduced waste increases capacity. This cycle builds resilience. Resilience is not enduring endlessly. It is adjusting intelligently. You learn when to push, when to pause, when to recover. Recovery matters. Pressure without recovery leads to breakdown. Recovery without pressure leads to stagnation. Balance is required. High performers respect recovery, not as escape, as maintenance. They rest intentionally. They recover strategically. They do not collapse randomly. This discipline preserves capacity. Capacity allows you to re-enter pressure stronger. This rhythm matters. Pressure, recovery, growth. Repeat. Many quit during pressure because they misread it. They think, this means I am not ready. Often, it means you are exactly where you should be. Readiness is built inside pressure, not before it. You do not train until you are strong. You train to become strong. Pressure is the training ground. This is where the first major transformation peak begins. You feel it now. The intensity rises, the demand increases, the urge to retreat surfaces. Stay. Keep going. Do not stop. This is it. This is the edge. This is where identity is tested, not in comfort, not in planning. Here, where effort is required without guarantees. Keep going. Each step forward rewires confidence. Confidence is not certainty of outcome, it is certainty of response. You trust how you respond to pressure. That trust is empowering. It quiets doubt. Doubt thrives when you have no evidence. Pressure gives evidence. You survived, you adapted, you continued. That memory strengthens you. You carry it forward. The next pressure feels less threatening. This is cumulative resilience, not dramatic, progressive. Do not rush this phase. Transformation peaks feel intense because they compress change. A lot is happening internally. Beliefs are updating. Limits are shifting. Stay present. Pressure will try to rush you into conclusions. Resist that. Conclusions narrow thinking. Curiosity keeps it open. Ask, what is this teaching me? Not, how do I escape? This question maintains agency. Agency is power. You are not trapped in pressure. You are learning from it. Learning accelerates mastery. Mastery reduces fear. Fear reduces resilience. This chain matters. Notice how your internal dialogue evolves. Less panic, more instruction. Less self-criticism, more assessment. This is maturity. You are no longer emotionally overwhelmed. You are engaged. Engagement transforms pressure into challenge. Challenge activates effort. Effort produces growth. Growth builds confidence. Confidence stabilizes you. This is the loop. Pressure initiates it. Without pressure, the loop stalls. This is why comfort feels stagnant. There is no catalyst. Pressure is the catalyst. It starts reactions. Do not fear the catalyst. It starts reactions. Do not fear the catalyst. Learn to use it. As you move through pressure, you may notice moments of clarity, sudden realizations, simplifications, decisions that feel obvious. Pressure strips away excess. What remains is essential. This essential version of you is efficient. Efficient does not mean rushed. It means focused. Focused effort feels powerful. You feel yourself rising to the demand. Not perfectly, but sufficiently. Sufficiency matters. You do not need flawless performance. You need continued engagement. Pressure is proof that engagement is happening. You are in the arena, not observing, not preparing endlessly. Participating. Participation changes identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone trying. You become someone doing. This shift is subtle but profound. It affects posture, speech, decision-making. You move with more authority. Authority comes from experience under pressure, not theory. Pressure is the teacher, not gentle, but effective. You may feel moments of doubt. That does not mean you are failing. Doubt is a companion to growth. It asks questions. Answer them with action. Action clarifies. As you persist, pressure reshapes you. It builds tolerance. What once felt overwhelming becomes manageable. This is evidence of growth. You have not eliminated pressure. You have expanded capacity. This is the goal. Not a pressure-free life, a pressure-capable self. Pressure will continue to rise as you grow. That is not a threat. It is a pattern. Each level brings new demands. You will not be asked to handle what you cannot learn to carry. Trust that process. Trust yourself. You have already proven resilience. You are here. You did not stop. This matters. Remember this moment. When future pressure arrives, recall this. You stayed. You learned. You continued. That memory will stabilize you. Pressure no longer feels like danger. It feels like invitation. An invitation to expand again. This chapter ends here, not with relief, with readiness, because pressure does not disappear after this. It evolves, and soon pressure will test something deeper, not your capacity, your consistency. And that test will ask whether what you have built can last. Chapter 7. The Self You Must Outgrow. There is a moment in every real transformation when effort is no longer the main challenge. The challenge becomes separation. Not separation from people, not separation from circumstances, separation from a version of yourself. This is the stage you talk about honestly, because it is quiet, because it is emotional, because it feels like loss. You have already built discipline, you have learned to hold pressure, you have raised your standards, and yet something still pulls backward. That pull is familiar. It sounds like your own voice, it carries your history, it knows your habits. This is the self you must outgrow, not because it was weak, but because it has completed its role. Every version of you exists for a reason. It protected you. It helped you survive. It carried you this far. Honor that. But do not confuse gratitude with obligation. You are not required to stay who you were. Growth demands departure. Internal conflict begins here. Part of you is ready to move forward. Another part wants to remain where it feels known. This conflict is not a flaw. It is a signal. It means growth is real. If change required no internal resistance, it would not be change. The old self does not leave quietly. It reminds you of comfort, of routines you mastered, of environments where you knew your place. It asks, why risk what works? That question sounds reasonable, but it hides a deeper fear, the fear of unfamiliar identity. You know who you were. You do not yet fully know who you are becoming. Uncertainty feels unsafe to the mind. The mind prefers familiar discomfort over unfamiliar discomfort over unfamiliar discomfort over unfamiliar potential. This is where many retreat, not because they lack ability, because they misunderstand the cost of staying. Staying familiar has a price. It costs expansion, it costs integrity, it costs the future version of you. Every time you cling to an old pattern, you delay alignment. Alignment requires letting go. Release it. That command is not aggressive. It is compassionate. Release it. Release the behaviors that no longer match your standard. Release the explanations that once protected you. Release the explanations that questions tree meets. This release is not instant. It happens gradually, moment by moment, decision by decision, and it often comes with grief. Grief is rarely acknowledged in growth conversations, but it exists. You may grieve old habits, old routines, old versions of yourself that felt simpler. You may grieve the ease of not expecting more. That grief does not mean you are going backward. It means you are transitioning. Transitions carry emotional weight. Let that weight be present. Do not rush through it. Do not suppress it. Acknowledge it. Say internally, that version helped me, and I am moving on. This acknowledgement brings closure. Without closure, old identities linger. They whisper, they negotiate, they delay. Closure allows clarity. You are not abandoning yourself. You are evolving. Evolution requires shedding. Snakes shed skin not because it is bad, but because it no longer fits. Growth expands capacity. Old identities become restrictive. You feel this restriction as tension. That tension is not a warning, it is a boundary. You have outgrown it. Internal conflict intensifies when you hesitate at this boundary. You try to move forward while holding backward. This creates strain. Strain drains energy. Energy is restored when direction is singular. Singular direction requires commitment. Commitment requires release. Release it. This command will surface repeatedly. Each time you feel pulled back into old behavior, return to it. Release it. Release the urge to explain yourself to people who knew the old you. Release the need to prove change prematurely. Release the expectation that growth should feel familiar. Growth does not feel familiar. That is how you know it is real. Your old self had patterns of response. Patterns under stress. Patterns under fatigue. Patterns under uncertainty. Those patterns may have worked before. They will not take you where you are going now. This realization can feel confronting because it means some of what you relied on must be replaced. Replacement takes effort, but holding on to what no longer fits takes more. Identity reinforcement becomes critical here. You must consciously choose which version of yourself receives authority. Authority is given through behavior. Each time you respond in alignment with your new standard, you reinforce the new identity. Each time you revert to old responses, you reinforce the old one. This is not about perfection, it is about direction. Direction determines outcome. You are not required to eliminate the old self. You are required to stop letting it lead. Leadership shifts internally. The new self steps forward. The old self steps back. This is not rejection, it is hierarchy. Every part of you still exists, but not every part decides. The old self becomes reference, not ruler. This shift stabilizes internal conflict. You stop fighting yourself. You reorganize yourself. Reorganize yourself. Reorganization is leadership. Leading yourself through change requires patience. You will notice moments of hesitation, moments where the old self reaches for control. It may appear as procrastination, as distraction, as emotional reasoning. Recognize it. Do not attack it. Do not indulge it. Redirect. Step forward. That command matters. Step forward. Not dramatically, not impulsively, deliberately. Forward movement breaks internal stalemates. Even small steps signal commitment. Commitment quiets conflict. The more consistently you act from the new identity, the quieter the old one becomes. It does not disappear overnight. It fades through lack of reinforcement. You stop feeding it attention. You stop giving it authority. This process requires trust. Trust that you can operate without the old coping mechanisms. Trust that you can handle discomfort differently now. Trust that you are not who you used to be. This trust grows through experience. Each time you choose differently, you prove capability. Capability builds confidence. Confidence stabilizes identity. This cycle replaces grief with resolve. Resolve is calm. It does not argue with itself. It does not explain. It moves. You may notice a sense of emptiness at times, moments where old habits are gone, but new routines are still forming. This gap can feel unsettling. Do not rush to fill it with distraction. Let it exist. That space is integration. Integration takes time. It is where values align with behavior, where standards settle into instinct. Filling that space too quickly weakens the foundation. Silence is useful here. Silence allows identity to consolidate. You listen more, react less. You observe your responses without judgment. Observation brings awareness. Awareness creates choice, reinforces identity. This is internal maturity. You are no longer reacting automatically. You are responding intentionally. Intentional response is leadership. Leadership begins with self-command. Self-command strengthens during transition, because transition tests consistency. You will be tempted to revert when tired, when stressed, when unobserved. These moments matter most. They reveal which identity is active, not when things are easy, when effort is required. Each time you choose the new response under pressure, you weaken the old identity further. This is how outgrowing happens, not through rejection, through replacement. Replace old patterns with new ones, old language with new language, old expectations with new standards. Language matters here. The way you describe yourself influences how you act. Notice phrases like, "I have always been," or "that is just how I am." These phrases anchor identity in the past. Release them. They served a purpose once. They no longer apply. Replace them with present-oriented language. This is how I operate now. This is what I do. This is my standard. These statements are not affirmations, they are commitments. Commitments guide behavior. Behavior solidifies identity. This reinforcement must be consistent. Identity does not change through occasional effort. It changes through repeated alignment. Repeated alignment feels grounding. The internal noise reduces. You feel less divided. Division is costly. It drains attention. It drains energy. It drains clarity. Unity restores strength. Unity means your actions match your direction. This matching creates calm confidence, not excitement, certainty. Certainty does not require validation. You stop seeking reassurance. You know what you are doing. That knowing is quiet. Others may not immediately recognize the change. That is fine. This phase is internal. External recognition comes later. If it comes too early, it distracts. You are not performing growth, you are living it. Living it requires privacy. Privacy protects identity while it forms. Just as quiet consistency built discipline, quiet separation builds identity. You are separating from what no longer fits. This separation may require difficult choices. Choices about time, about relationships, about routines. Not all connections can move forward with you. This does not mean judgment. It means alignment. Alignment prioritizes direction over familiarity. Familiarity feels safe. Direction creates growth. You cannot have both equally. At some point, you must choose. Step forward. Each step forward affirms the new self. Each step forward increases distance from the old. Distance brings perspective. Perspective reduces attachment. Attachment is what keeps identities alive beyond usefulness. Release attachment. Release it. This command applies not only to habits, but to narratives. Narratives about what you deserve, what you can handle, what you should expect. Old narratives often undersell capability. They were formed under different conditions. Conditions have changed. You have changed. Let the narrative update. Updating identity is not betrayal of the past. It is respect for growth. Growth means you learned. Learning means you evolved. Evolution demands acknowledgement. Acknowledge who you are now, not through words alone, through behavior. Behavior is honest. It reveals identity without explanation. As you move through this chapter, you may feel moments of loneliness, not because you are isolated, because you are isolated, because you are less understood. That is temporary. Understanding follows embodiment. First you become, then others adjust. Do not reverse that order. Waiting for understanding delays growth. You understand yourself enough. That is sufficient. Leadership often begins before recognition. Internal leadership always does. You are leading yourself into unfamiliar territory. That requires courage. Courage is not absence of fear. It is commitment, despite it. Commitment is shown through action. Each action aligned with your standard reinforcements the new self. This reinforcement compounds, just like habits, just like discipline, just like resilience. Identity is cumulative. You do not become someone new overnight. You become someone new through repeated alignment. This repetition may feel ordinary. That is good. Ordinary actions done consistently create extraordinary identity. Extraordinary identity is not dramatic. It is reliable. Reliable under pressure. Reliable under fatigue. Reliable when unobserved. This reliability is what separates growth from intention. You are moving from intention to embodiment. Embodiment feels different. Less emotional fluctuation, more steadiness, less talk, more execution. This steadiness may feel unfamiliar. Sit with it. It is your new baseline forming. Baselines matter. They determine default behavior. Your default behavior is changing. That change is the result of release. Release of old limits. Release of outdated responses. Release of familiar excuses. This release creates space. Space allows new standards to settle. Standards define identity. Identity governs behavior. Behavior creates outcomes. This chain is now operating at a higher level. Protect it, not aggressively, consistently. Consistency protects identity better than intensity ever could. As this chapter closes, recognize where you stand. You are no longer who you were. You are not yet finished becoming. This in-between space is powerful. It is where identity is reshaped. Do not rush through it. Honor it. Release what no longer fits. Step forward into what does. Say the commands internally. Release it. Step forward. And as you do, notice something subtle. The resistance is quieter now. The direction is clearer, because once you let go of the self you have outgrown, there is nothing holding you back. Only the next version waiting to be claimed. And that version will demand consistency at a level you have not yet tested. That test is coming, and it will ask whether who you have become can endure. Chapter 8. Leadership starts in private. Leadership is often misunderstood. It is associated with visibility, position, and influence, with titles, authority, and recognition. But real leadership begins long before anyone follows you. It begins when no one is watching. Leadership starts in private. Before you guide others, you must command yourself. Before you influence behavior, you must regulate your own. Before you expect consistency, you must embody it. This is where leadership becomes real. If you cannot lead yourself, you cannot lead others. This is not a judgment, it is a law. Self-command is the foundation of authority. Authority is not volume, it is coherence. When your words align with your actions, people feel it. When your standards match your behavior, trust forms. Trust is the currency of leadership, and trust begins internally. You cannot ask others to be disciplined if you negotiate with yourself. You cannot demand integrity if you compromise in private. You cannot inspire focus if your own attention is scattered. Private behavior determines public credibility. This chapter is about that truth, not the visible side of leadership, the invisible one. Integrity lives in the unseen moments, moments when shortcuts are available, moments when effort could be delayed, moments when no one would notice if you lowered the bar. Those moments shape who you are. Integrity is not about perfection. It is about congruence. Doing what you said you would do, showing up as promised, following through when excuses feel tempting. Integrity builds personal authority. Personal authority is different from control. Control forces behavior. Authority invites it. People follow authority because it feels grounded. That grounding comes from consistency. Consistency is practiced privately. When you do the right thing without witnesses, you train yourself to trust your own leadership. Self-trust is essential. Without it, leadership becomes performance. Performance collapses under pressure. Authority holds. Authority is quiet. It does not rush to assert itself. It does not explain excessively. It does not seek validation. Quiet decisiveness defines it. Decisiveness does not mean speed. It means clarity. You decide once, then you act. This reduces internal friction. Friction wastes energy. Leadership requires energy conservation. You cannot afford to debate yourself endlessly. High performers simplify decisions by setting standards. Standards reduce options. Reduced options increase decisiveness. Decisiveness strengthens authority. This chain begins internally. You lead yourself by eliminating ambiguity. Ambiguity invites hesitation. Hesitation erodes confidence. Confidence is not arrogance. It is certainty of response. You trust how you will act. That trust is built through repetition. Private repetition. Every time you choose alignment over convenience, you reinforce authority. Every time you honor a commitment unseen, you strengthen leadership. This is slow work. It does not reward immediately, but it compounds. Leadership is cumulative. It builds through hundreds of small decisions. Moments of self-command that no one applauds. You wake up when you said you would. You prepare even when tired. You finish tasks without external pressure. These acts seem small. They are not. They are leadership training. You are training yourself to be reliable. Reliability is the root of trust. Trust begins with you trusting yourself. When you trust yourself, you stop overcompensating. You speak less, you explain less, you explain less, you act more. Action communicates authority. Authority does not need persuasion. It is felt. People sense when someone is internally aligned. That alignment shows up in posture, in tone, in pacing. You become calm. Calmness under pressure signals leadership. Panic signals lack of control. Control does not mean suppression. It means direction. You feel emotion without obeying it. This emotional regulation begins privately. When you choose effort despite discomfort, when you stay composed during frustration, when you respond instead of reacting, each moment of regulation builds capacity. Capacity allows leadership to scale. Without self-regulation, leadership fractures. You may lead briefly, but not sustainably. Sustainably requires internal discipline. Discipline is not restriction. It is alignment with values. Defines standards. Standards guide behavior. Behavior builds identity. Identity establishes authority. Authority attracts followers. This sequence cannot be reversed. You cannot skip self-command. You may hold a position, but leadership will be shallow. Shallow leadership depends on enforcement. Deep leadership depends on respect. Respect is earned through consistency. Consistency is practiced in private. This is why high performers protect their routines, not because routines are rigid, but because routines preserve alignment. Alignment reduces cognitive load. When your days follow a structure, you spend less energy deciding. That energy becomes available for leadership. Leadership requires presence. Presence requires mental clarity. Mental clarity requires reduced noise. Noise often comes from inconsistency. You wonder if you will follow through. You question your own reliability. This doubt drains confidence. Consistency removes doubt. When you consistently honor commitments, you stop questioning yourself. Self-questioning fades. Certainty grows. Certainty creates authority. Authority is quiet. You do not rush to assert control. You do not dominate conversations. You do not compete for attention. You listen. Listening is a leadership skill. It signals confidence. Insecurity interrupts. Authority observes. When you are secure internally, you are not threatened by silence. Silence becomes a tool. You pause before responding. You consider before acting. This deliberateness is felt. People sense that you are not reactive. Reactivity undermines leadership. It signals emotional dependence. Leadership requires independence. Emotional independence. You are not led by mood. You are not driven by approval. You are not swayed by pressure. You are guided by principle. Principles are stable. They do not change daily. They create predictability. Predictability builds trust. Trust allows influence. Influence defines leadership. Again, the sequence begins privately. Leadership also requires honesty, not just with others, with yourself. Self-honesty is uncomfortable. It requires acknowledging gaps between standards and behavior. Ignoring gaps weakens authority. Addressing them strengthens it. When you confront yourself honestly, you correct quietly. You do not announce adjustments, you make them. This humility is powerful. It prevents defensiveness. Defensiveness blocks growth. Growth sustains leadership. You are not meant to be flawless. You are meant to be accountable. Accountability begins internally. Before others hold you accountable, you hold yourself accountable. This shifts posture. You no longer avoid feedback. You seek alignment. Alignment feels grounding. It removes anxiety. Anxiety thrives on inconsistency. Consistency calms the nervous system. Calm leaders think clearly. Clear thinking improves decisions. Good decisions reinforce authority. Authority invites responsibility. Responsibility deepens leadership. This is a reinforcing cycle. Leadership also involves restraint. Restraint from speaking unnecessarily. Restraint from reacting impulsively. Restraint from our committing. Overcommitment leads to broken promises. Broken promises weaken authority. Strong leaders underpromise and overdeliver. They protect their word. Your word is your bond. When you treat your word lightly, others will too. When you honor it privately, others trust it publicly. This trust creates space. Space to lead. Space to influence. Space to influence. Space to guide. You do not need to force leadership. It emerges naturally when authority is present. Authority cannot be faked. It is sensed. People feel when someone has internal order. Internal order produces external calm. Calm leaders stabilize environments. They reduce chaos. They provide direction. Direction is valuable. In uncertain times, people look for direction. They follow those who appear steady. Steadiness is built privately, through discipline, through consistency, through self-command. Leadership is not charisma. Charisma attracts attention. Authority sustains influence. Charisma fades when pressure rises. Authority strengthens. This is why some leaders disappear under stress. Their foundation was external. When circumstances change, they crumble. Leaders built internally adapt. Adaptation is a leadership skill. It requires humility. You must be willing to update behavior, update strategies, update routines, update assumptions. Private leadership allows this flexibility. You are not defending an image, you are refining alignment. Image requires maintenance. Alignment requires honesty. Honesty frees energy. Energy fuels leadership. Leadership also requires boundaries. Boundaries around time, around focus, around behavior. Without boundaries, leadership diffuses. You become reactive. You say yes too often. You scatter effort. You dilute standards. Boundaries protect leadership. They signal clarity. Clarity attracts respect. Respect's influence. Influence defines leadership. Again, the cycle begins privately. You decide what you will tolerate. You decide what you will prioritize. You decide how you will respond under pressure. These decisions are made before situations arise. This pre-decision is powerful. It removes hesitation. When challenges appear, you already know how you will act. This readiness is leadership. You are not scrambling, you are prepared. Preparation is invisible. It happens quietly. High performers invest heavily in preparation. They do not rely on improvisation. Improvisation looks impressive briefly. Preparation sustains performance. Preparation requires discipline. Discipline requires self-command. Self-command is leadership. Leadership also involves patience. Patience with process, patience with process, patience with growth, patience with others. Impatience signals insecurity. It suggests urgency without direction. Patience signals confidence. You trust the process because you trust yourself. This trust allows measured action. Measured action avoids burnout. Burnout undermines leadership. Leaders must be sustainable. Sustainability requires pacing. Pacing is self-regulation over time. Again, private. You manage energy, you rest intentionally, you recover strategically, you do not collapse randomly. This energy management supports leadership longevity. Short bursts of leadership are easy. Sustained leadership is rare. It requires structure. Structure is built privately. Leadership also involves example, not verbal example, behavioral example. People watch what you do more than what you say. They notice how you handle pressure, how you respond to setbacks, how you treat commitments. These observations form impressions. Impressions determine followership. Followership is voluntary. People choose to follow those they respect. Respect is earned through consistency. Consistency is lived privately. You do not need to announce your standards. They are visible. You do not need to demand respect. It arrives. You do not need to assert leadership. It is recognized. This recognition may be subtle at first. Small signs. People seek your input. They mirror your behavior. They trust your judgment. These signals confirm authority. Authority grows organically. You are not chasing leadership. You are embodying it. Embodiment feels different. Less effortful. Less performative. You are not trying to lead. You are leading. This distinction matters. Trying implies insecurity. Leading implies alignment. Alignment removes friction. Friction drains energy. Energy supports presence. Presence strengthens leadership. Leadership also requires courage. Courage to make decisions without consensus. Courage to stand by values under pressure. Courage to act when outcomes are uncertain. Courage is not loud. It is steady. Steady courage is built privately. You practice choosing discomfort over avoidance. You practice holding standards under stress. You practice acting without applause. These practices build courage. Courage allows leadership in difficult moments. Difficult moments define leaders, not smooth operations. When systems fail, when pressure rises, when uncertainty spreads. Those moments reveal who can hold. Holding requires internal strength. Internal strength is developed privately. You cannot prepare for leadership publicly. Public moments are tests, not training. Training happens unseen. This understanding changes how you approach daily life. You see ordinary moments as leadership practice, choosing discipline, choosing honesty, choosing restraint. Each choice is a rep. You are training leadership capacity. This reframing is empowering. No day is wasted. Every day offers opportunities to lead yourself, even on quiet days, especially on quiet days. Quiet days build foundation. Foundation supports structure. Structure enables scale. Leadership scales when foundation is strong. Without foundation, scale collapses. Many fail at leadership because they scale too early. They seek influence before integrity. They seek authority before alignment. They seek recognition before readiness. Readiness is built privately. You are building readiness now. You may not feel like a leader yet. That is fine. Leadership is not a feeling. It is a pattern of behavior. Behave like a leader privately, and leadership will emerge publicly. This is not manipulation. It is alignment. Alignment attracts opportunity. Opportunity tests leadership. Leadership responds with authority. Authority deepens influence. This cycle continues. Leadership also requires self-respect. You respect yourself by honoring standards. Self-respect stabilizes identity. Stable identity projects confidence. Confidence invites trust. Trust enables leadership. Again, private. When you compromise privately, self-respect erodes. Erosion weakens authority. Weak authority requires force. Force breeds resistance. Resistance undermines leadership. Strong leadership avoids force. It relies on respect. Respect begins with self-respect. Self-respect is practiced privately. This is why small compromises matter. They may seem insignificant. They are not. They accumulate. Each compromise weakens internal authority. Each follow-through strengthens it. You are always training yourself, either toward leadership or away from it. This awareness sharpens behavior. You become more intentional. Intentionality is leadership. You are not drifting. You are directing. Direction clara la is. Priorities guide action. Action reinforces identity. Identity establishes authority. Authority attracts followers. This chain is consistent. Leadership does not appear suddenly. It emerges gradually, often without you noticing. One day, you realize people look to you. They ask questions. They seek guidance. They trust your judgment. This does not happen by chance. It is the result of private leadership. You earned it. You earned it through discipline, through integrity, through consistency. You earned it by leading yourself when it was inconvenient. This earning matters. Unearned leadership collapses. Earned leadership endures. You are building something durable, not flashy, not fragile. Durable leadership withstands pressure. Pressure will come. It always does. But pressure reveals preparation. When pressure arrives, you will not scramble. You will respond. Response is leadership. Reaction is not. Response comes from clarity. Clarity is built privately. This chapter closes with a reminder. Leadership is not about others yet. It is about you, your standards, your behavior, your integrity. Lead yourself. Do it quietly. Lead yourself. Do it quietly. Do it consistently. Do it without applause. Say the affirmation, I am ready to lead, not because others are watching, but because you are prepared. I am ready to lead. And as you continue, understand this. Private leadership has prepared you for the next test, because soon leadership will require endurance, not just authority, consistency over time, and that will demand something deeper, the standard that never drops. Chapter 9. The standard becomes automatic. At some point, something subtle changes, not dramatic, not announced. You simply notice there is less resistance. The things that once required effort now begin without debate. You move before hesitation forms. You act before emotion weighs in. You follow through without negotiation. This is not coincidence. This is embodiment. Repetition has done its work. Discipline is no longer something you summon, it is something you live. What you repeat becomes effortless. This is one of the most important transitions in growth, because effort drains energy. Instinct conserves it. High performers do not operate with constant intensity. They operate with refined automaticity. Their standards no longer feel heavy. They feel normal. Normal is powerful. When discipline becomes normal, it stops consuming willpower. Willpower is limited, standards are not. This chapter is about that shift. From effortful control to embodied behavior, from thinking about discipline to moving through it. In the beginning, discipline feels unnatural. It interrupts habits, it challenges comfort, it demands attention. That phase is necessary, but it is temporary. Repetition rewires behavior. The mind learns patterns, the body adapts, the nervous system calibrates. What once felt forced becomes familiar. Familiarity reduces friction. Reduced friction increases consistency. Consistency reinforces identity. Identity stabilizes behavior. This is the chain. Habit embodiment begins quietly. You stop needing reminders. You stop needing motivation. You stop needing external structure. The structure lives inside you. You wake up and move. You face resistance and respond. You encounter pressure and adjust. There is no debate. You already decided long ago. That decision has been repeated so many times that it no longer feels like a decision. It feels like who you are. This is where many misunderstand success. They believe high performers are constantly pushing themselves. They are not. They are operating from systems that require less push. Their standards do the work for them. Standards reduce choice. Reduced choice reduces emotional labor. Emotional labor drains energy faster than action. When you remove emotional labor, action becomes lighter. Not easier, but lighter. You stop dragging yourself forward. You simply go. This shift frees mental space. Mental space improves clarity. Clarity improves precision. Precision improves performance. This is why mastery feels calm. There is less noise, less internal commentary, less emotional fluctuation. You are not hyping yourself up. You are executing. Execution does not require narration. You notice this first in small ways. You start tasks promptly. You maintain routines, even when tired. You recover faster from disruption. You no longer dramatize setbacks. You correct and continue. Correction becomes instinct. This is a sign of habit embodiment. Your nervous system trusts the pattern. Trust reduces stress. Stress once came from uncertainty. Will I follow through? Will I stay consistent? Will I quit again? Those questions fade. The answer is already known. You will. This certainty is calming. Calm confidence replaces anxious motivation. You are no longer chasing energy, you are conserving it. High performers protect energy, not through laziness, through efficiency. Efficiency comes from automation. Automation comes from repetition. You repeated the right behaviors until they stopped feeling like effort. This is the reward of consistency, not applause, not recognition. Ease. Ease does not mean lack of challenge, it means reduced friction. You still face difficulty. You still stretch capacity, but you do not fight yourself while doing it. Self-conflict disappears. Internal alignment remains. Alignment feels smooth. Smoothness improves endurance. Endurance allows long-term execution. This is how extraordinary output becomes possible, not through heroic effort every day, through embodied standards every day. This is the second transformation peak. It arrives quietly. You may not notice it immediately. One day you realize you are doing what once felt impossible, without drama, without hesitation. That realization lands gently, but it is profound. You are no longer building discipline, you are living it. This is where rapid commands make sense. They do not hype you, they focus you. Move, focus you, execute. These words no longer feel demanding. They feel natural. Move. Your body responds. Focus. Your attention narrows. Execute. Your hands act. There is no pause between instruction and behavior. This immediacy is power. Power does not hesitate. Hesitation signals uncertainty. Uncertainty drains momentum. Momentum sustains progress. Progress reinforces identity. Progress reinforces identity. Stabilizes standards. Automate behavior. This loop is now active. You feel less emotional drag. Emotional drag comes from indecision. Indecision has been removed. Your standard decides for you. This reduces fatigue, not physical fatigue, Mental fatigue. Mental fatigue is more dangerous. It erodes consistency. Automation protects against it. When habits are embodied, they do not require daily recommitment. They operate even when attention is low. This is resilience, not the dramatic kind, the reliable kind. Reliable resilience sustains growth. Growth is no longer a project, it is a state. This does not mean complacency. Complacency is stagnation. Automation does not stop growth, it supports it. Because energy saved from discipline can be invested in expansion, you now have capacity. Capacity to learn faster, capacity to adapt, capacity to lead. You are no longer spending energy convincing yourself. You are applying energy outward. This changes focus. You stop obsessing over self-control. You start refining performance. Refinement replaces enforcement. Enforcement feels heavy. Refinement feels precise. Precision emerges. You notice inefficiencies. You adjust calmly. No self-criticism. No emotional collapse, just correction. This is maturity. Maturity in performance is quiet. It does not announce breakthroughs. It integrates them. Integration is what makes change permanent. Temporary discipline relies on effort. Integrated discipline relies on identity. Identity-driven behavior is stable. Stability allows pressure. Pressure now feels different. It no longer threatens consistency. It tests capacity. Capacity is built. You can handle more now. Not because you are forcing yourself, because your baseline has risen. Your baseline matters. It determines what feels normal. Your baseline used to be inconsistent effort. Now it is disciplined execution. That shift is massive. Most people never reach it. They oscillate between effort and collapse. You had stabilized. Stability is rare. Stability creates advantage. Because stable people are predictable to themselves. They trust their output. That trust changes how they plan. You set longer horizons. You commit to bigger goals, not because you are ambitious, because you are reliable. Reliability expands possibility. You do not fear commitment. You trust your follow-through. This confidence is not loud, it is internal. You stop seeking reassurance. You stop checking progress obsessively. You work. Work produces results. Results confirm alignment. Alignment feels grounding. This grounding reduces anxiety. Anxiety once fueled motivation. Now motivation is unnecessary. You move because it is normal. Normal effort accumulates. Accumulation produces momentum. Momentum carries you forward. This is how high performance becomes sustainable. Sustainability matters. Short bursts of intensity burn out. Embodied standards endure. You can operate longer, recover faster, adapt quicker. Adaptation is key. Automation does not mean rigidity. It means consistency in principle, flexibility in execution. You adjust tactics without lowering standards. This distinction is important. Standards remain fixed, methods evolve. This allows growth without chaos. Chaos drains energy, structure preserves it. Structure now lives inside you. You do not need strict external controls. You are self-regulating. Self-regulation is advanced leadership. It frees attention. Freed attention can be directed outward. You start noticing others more. You anticipate challenges. You respond with calm. This calm is contagious. People feel steadiness around you. Steadiness builds trust. Trust builds influence. Influence is a byproduct. You are not chasing it. You are embodying it. This embodiment came from repetition, from showing up when it was boring, from repeating actions without excitement, from choosing consistency over novelty. Novelty feels rewarding short-term. Consistency wins long-term. You made the long-term choice. Now the reward is showing, not in fireworks, in smooth execution. You may notice your days feel simpler, not because tasks disappeared, because decisions did. Decisions cost energy. Standards remove decisions. You know what to do. You do it. This simplicity is freeing. It creates mental quiet. Quiet improves focus. Focus improves quality. Quality improves outcomes. Outcomes reinforce standards. This loop is now stable. This stability is not accidental. It is earned. Earned through repetition. Repetition is often misunderstood. People think repetition is boring. Boredom is not repetition's flaw. It is repetition's test. Those who endure boredom receive mastery. Mastery removes boredom, because mastery introduces nuance. You begin refining details, small improvements, tiny optimizations. These changes compound. Compounding is slow at first, then noticeable, then undeniable. This is happening now. You are not starting. You are building. Building requires patience. Patience is easier when friction is low. Automation lowers friction. You are no longer fighting yourself. This frees emotional capacity. You can now face challenges without internal resistance. Resistance now comes externally, from complexity, from demand, from responsibility. You are ready. The second transformation peak is not emotional, it is structural. Your internal systems have changed. You are operating differently. Even on days you feel off, you still move. That consistency is everything. Consistency protects progress during emotional fluctuations. Emotions fluctuate. Standards do not. You trust standards more than feelings. This trust is maturity. You are not cold. You are regulated. Regulation creates reliability. Reliability creates freedom. Freedom is the reward, not freedom from effort. Freedom from internal chaos. Internal chaos once consumed energy. That energy is now available. Available for growth. Available for growth. Available for genejib. Available for challenge. Challenge no longer threatens you. It engages you. Engages you purposeful. Purpose stabilizes effort. You are no longer searching for meaning. Meaning is embedded in behavior. You act in alignment with values. Values shape standards. Standards guide habits. Habits operate automatically. This integration is powerful. Few reach it. Those who do rarely speak about it, because it is quiet. It does not need explanation. You feel it. This feeling is not excitement. It is steadiness. Steadiness outperforms excitement. Excitement fades. Steadiness outperforms excitement. Excitement fades. Steadiness endures. This endurance allows long-term impact. Impact is built over time. Time rewards consistency. You learn how to use time, not to rush it, to align with it. Alignment with time produces patience. Patience produces precision. Precision produces excellence. Excellence is not an event. It is a standard. That standard is now automatic. You no longer rise to it occasionally. You live there. Living there changes self-image. You stop seeing yourself as someone trying. You are someone operating at a higher baseline. That baseline will continue to rise, because repetition does not stop. You will repeat new behaviors. They will become normal. Normal will become effortless. Effortless will free capacity. Capacity will invite challenge. Challenge will create pressure. Pressure will test consistency. Consistency will hold. This cycle continues. This is growth without drama, sustainable, quiet, relentless, move, focus, execute. These words are no longer commands. They are descriptions. They describe how you operate now. This chapter closes with recognition. You have crossed another threshold, not by force, by repetition. Your standard has become instinct. Your discipline has become identity. Your effort has become automatic. This is not the end. It is stabilization. And once something stabilizes, it becomes ready for expansion, because what is stable can be trusted, and what can be trusted can be pushed further. The next phase will test endurance. Not whether you can start, but whether you can sustain, because sustained excellence demands something even deeper. The willingness to finish. Chapter 10. Finishers separate themselves. There is a quiet moment where effort thins, where excitement fades, where progress slows just enough to test intent. This is where separation happens, not at the start, not in preparation, not in motivation. At the finish, most people begin with energy. At the finish, most people begin with energy. They start strong. They speak with confidence. Starting feels good. Starting feels hopeful. Starting feels light. Finishing feels different. Finishing asks for endurance. It demands patience. It requires emotional stamina. This is where most step away, not loudly, not dramatically. They drift. They move on to something new, something fresh, something easier to feel excited about. High performers understand this pattern. They know the world is full of starters. Ideas started, plans started, projects started, but results are built by finishers. Finishers separate themselves quietly. They do not rush. They do not boast. They do not explain delays. They stay. Staying is harder than starting. Staying requires commitment when emotion has moved on. This is the heart of completion. Completion is not about speed. It is about loyalty to the process. Loyalty to what you committed to after the initial excitement fades. This loyalty defines identity. You are not what you intend. You are not what you plan. You are what you plan. You are what you complete. Completion shapes reputation, not public reputation, internal reputation, how you see yourself. That internal reputation matters more because you live with it every day. When you finish what you start, you build trust with yourself. Trust changes everything. You stop doubting follow-through. You stop hesitating before committing. You know you will see it through. This certainty is powerful. It allows long-term thinking. Long-term thinking separates amateurs from professionals. Amateurs optimize for how things feel now. Professionals optimize for where things lead. Finishers think beyond the moment. They consider the cost of stopping. Stopping feels light now, but heavy later. Unfinished work lingers. It drains attention. It fragments focus. It leaves identity incomplete. Completion brings closure. Closure frees energy. Energy can then be directed forward. Finishers move cleanly. They do not carry unfinished weight. This cleanliness is rare. Most people carry dozens of half-completed commitments. Each one steals a little confidence. Each one whispers, "You don't always follow through." Finishers silence that voice. They replace it with evidence. Evidence that they complete. This evidence accumulates. Over time, it becomes identity. I finish what I start. Say it internally. I finish what I start. This is not a slogan. It is a standard. Standards do not argue. They execute. Finishing requires emotional stamina. Emotional stamina is the ability to continue without emotional reward, because near the end, rewards are delayed. The middle is often dull. The final stretch is heavy. Progress is less visible. Energy feels lower. This is where discipline transforms into resolve. Resolve is quieter than motivation. It does not hype. It does not rush. It endures. Endurance is a skill. It is trained. Each time you complete despite resistance, you increase capacity. Capacity to stay focused, capacity to tolerate discomfort, capacity to remain engaged. This capacity compounds. Finishers are not special. They are trained. They have practiced staying longer than others, staying when it would be easier to stop. Stopping is tempting. Stopping promises relief, but relief from stopping is temporary. The cost arrives later: regret, self-doubt, reduced trust. Finishers choose delayed relief. They carry discomfort now to avoid regret later. This trade-off defines maturity. Maturity chooses long-term alignment over short-term comfort. Finishers understand that most growth happens after boredom. Boredom is not a signal to stop. It is a signal that novelty has passed. What remains is commitment. Commitment is tested when excitement is gone. This test determines outcome. Many confuse boredom with lack of potential. They think if it feels flat, it must not be right. High performers know better. Flatness often means depth is forming. Depth requires repetition. Repetition feels ordinary. Ordinary effort sustained creates extraordinary results. Finishers respect ordinary effort. They do not abandon it for stimulation. They remain. Remaining is an act of leadership. Leadership over self. You lead yourself to the finish line even when enthusiasm has left the room. This leadership is internal. No applause, no validation, just follow through. Follow through builds emotional stamina. You learn that emotion does not decide completion. Decision does. You decide to finish long before the finish appears. That decision carries you. Decision removes doubt. Doubt drains energy. Energy conserved through decision can be applied to execution. Execution is not glamorous near the end. It is methodical. Small steps, consistent effort, limited drama. Finishers operate here comfortably. They do not expect excitement. They expect work. This expectation stabilizes performance. Stability allows progress to continue even when circumstances fluctuate. Circumstances always fluctuate. Mood changes. Energy varies. External noise increases. Finishers do not adjust commitment based on fluctuation. They adjust tactics. The commitment remains. This distinction matters. Commitment is fixed. Methods are flexible. Those who quit confuse difficulty with impossibility. Finishers distinguish between the two. Difficulty asks for adjustment. Impossibility asks for re-evaluation. Most people quit in difficulty, not impossibility. Finishers stay. Staying does not mean ignoring feedback. It means responding intelligently. You learn to pace yourself. Long-term thinking is essential here. You are not sprinting. You are building something that lasts. Rushing leads to burnout. Burnout leads to quitting. Finishers manage energy. They rest strategically. They recover intentionally. They do not collapse. They understand that finishing requires sustainability. Sustainability requires rhythm. Work, recover, continue. This rhythm keeps momentum alive. Momentum near the end is fragile. It must be protected. Protected from distraction. Protected from self-doubt. Protected from comparison. Comparison is dangerous at this stage. You may see others start new things, announce fresh goals, receive attention. Your path feels quieter. That is normal. Finishers often work in silence near the end. Noise has moved elsewhere. Silence signals proximity to completion. Lean into it. This silence allows focus. Focus reduces errors. The errors near the end are costly. Finishers become precise. Precision requires patience. Patience allows completion. Completion builds identity. Identity strengthens resolve. Resolve carries you through final resistance. Resistance often spikes near completion. Fear of finality. Fear of exposure. Fear of evaluation. Unfinished work cannot be judged. Finished work cannot be judged. Finished work can. This fear keeps many from finishing. They stay in preparation. They stay in revision. They stay in planning. Finishers move through fear, not recklessly, deliberately. They accept that completion brings visibility. Visibility is uncomfortable, but growth demands it. You cannot hide behind unfinished effort forever. Finishers accept the risk of being seen. This courage separates them. They understand that completion is an act of self-respect. You respect yourself enough to see things through. This respect compounds. You trust your decisions. You trust your decisions. You trust your endurance. Trust eliminates hesitation. Hesitation is costly near the end. Finishers do not second-guess constantly. They review intentionally. They correct efficiently. They move forward. Forward is the only direction that finishes. Backward and sideways consume time. Time is precious. Finishers value time differently. They see time as an ally. They invest it fully in fewer things, not scattered attention, concentrated effort. Concentration accelerates completion. You are not juggling endlessly. You are focusing deeply. Deep focus sustains momentum. Momentum carries you through final fatigue. Fatigue is expected. Finishers plan for it. They do not panic when tired. They adjust pace. They do not abandon direction. This emotional stamina is learned. It grows through exposure. Each time you finish despite fatigue, you increase tolerance. Tolerance makes future finishes easier. This is compounding completion. Completion builds capacity to complete. This is why finishers finish again. It is not luck. It is identity. You start seeing yourself differently, not as someone who tries, but as someone who completes. This shift changes behavior. You commit more selectively. You start fewer things. You finish more. This selectivity improves quality. Quality reinforces confidence. Confidence supports endurance. Endurance ensures completion. This cycle is now active. You may notice something else. Finishers experience less anxiety. Anxiety often comes from unresolved tasks. Unresolved tasks create mental clutter. Mental clutter drains focus. Completion clears space. Space allows clarity. Clarity improves decision-making. Better decisions reduce unnecessary starts. This efficiency matters. Finishers are efficient. They do not waste energy on half effort. They invest fully or not at all. This discipline protects resources. Resources are finite. Energy, attention, time. Finishers allocate wisely. They do not chase novelty. They pursue completion. Novelty excites briefly. Completion transforms. Transformation requires endings. Endings are uncomfortable. They require letting go of the process, letting go of the effort. Finishers allow closure. They do not linger indefinitely. They complete, review, and move on. This forward motion sustains growth. Growth stalls without closure. Unfinished chapters hold you back. Finishers close chapters. This applies internally as well. You finish conversations. You finish conversations. You finish commitments. You finish seasons. This completeness stabilizes identity. You feel whole, not scattered. Wholeness supports leadership. Leaders who finish inspire trust. Others notice, not through announcements, through consistency. They see you follow through. They see you stay. They see you complete. This reputation forms quietly. It attracts responsibility. Responsibility requires reliability. Reliability is proven through completion. You are building that proof. Each finished task is evidence. Evidence silences doubt. Doubt fades. Confidence strengthens. Strength allows larger commitments. Larger commitments demand endurance. Endurance completes them. This is upward momentum. Momentum does not require speed. It requires direction and persistence. You have both. You have trained discipline. You have embodied standards. You have embodied standards. You have stabilized identity. Now you are finishing. Finishing is the expression of everything built so far. It is discipline applied over time. It is identity expressed in action. It is leadership demonstrated quietly. This chapter is not about heroics. It is about consistency at the end. The end often feels lonely. Fewer people remain. Many have dropped off. This solitude is temporary. Do not mistake it for insignificance. Finishing rarely happens in crowds. It happens in focus. Focus feels solitary, but it is powerful. Power concentrates at the end. Those who reach it hold disproportionate influence. Because few arrive, you are arriving, not by accident, by choice. Each time you choose to continue, you separate yourself, not above others, apart in behavior, apart in standards, apart in outcomes. This separation is not arrogance, it is responsibility. You chose to finish. That choice carries weight. Weight strengthens presence. Presence commands respect. Respect builds influence. Influence extends impact. Impact is the reward of finishing, not applause. Impact. Your work matters because it is complete. Incomplete work cannot serve fully. Completion releases value. Completion releases value. Completion releases value, compounds. This is long-term thinking realized. You are not chasing short-term wins. You are building durable results. Durable results change trajectories, not instantly, gradually. Finishers understand delayed impact. They trust the timeline. Trust reduces anxiety. Anxiety leads to quitting. Trust sustains effort. You trust yourself now. That trust is earned. Earned through staying when it would be easier to leave. Earned through finishing when starting something new would feel exciting. Earned through commitment when emotion faded. This earning matters. It anchors identity. You are a finisher, not sometimes, consistently. Say the affirmation, I finish what I start. Say it without force, I finish what I start. This is not motivation, it is description of behavior. Behavior that has been practiced, behavior that has been reinforced, behavior that now defines you. This chapter closes with clarity. You do not need more beginnings, you need completions. Completions strengthen everything else. They clear space, they build confidence, they establish authority. Finishers separate themselves. You are separating yourself now, not loudly, not visibly, but decisively. And as you complete what others abandon, you prepare yourself for something even rarer, sustained excellence. Because finishing once is powerful, finishing consistently is transformational. That demand is next, and it will require discipline not just to finish, but to finish again and again and again. Chapter 11. When discipline becomes destiny. There comes a point when discipline is no longer something you practice. It becomes something that shapes you, not dramatically, not suddenly, quietly, daily, deliberately. This is where destiny begins to form, not as a single moment, not as a breakthrough event. As accumulation, most people misunderstand destiny. They imagine it as talent meeting opportunity, as luck meeting timing. High performers understand a deeper truth. Destiny is built through standards repeated over time. Your future is not created by what you do occasionally. It is created by what you do every day. This chapter connects the present to the distant future, because the gap between who you are now and who you will become is bridged by discipline. Discipline decides trajectory. Small daily decisions feel insignificant. They are not. They compound. Compounding is invisible at first, then undeniable. Time horizon thinking matters here. Short horizons create emotional thinking. Long horizons create strategic behavior. When you think only about today, comfort feels important. When you think in years, standards feel essential. High performers extend their time horizon. They ask not only, how does this feel now, but who does this make me over time? This question changes priorities. Immediate pleasure loses authority. Long-term alignment gains it. You begin choosing actions based on direction, not mood. This is maturity. Maturity is the ability to delay gratification without resentment. Resentment signals misalignment. Alignment brings calm. You feel calm when your actions match your long-term vision. That calm is stabilizing. Stability allows patience. Patience allows consistency. Consistency builds destiny. Destiny does not arrive fully formed. It emerges through repetition. Every time you keep a standard, you reinforce a direction. Every time you lower it, you redirect slightly. Over time, these slight shifts matter. They determine where you end up. This realization is sobering, not heavy. Empowering, because it returns control to you. You are not waiting for destiny. You are constructing it quietly, daily, deliberately. This construction does not require intensity every day. It requires steadiness. Stay steady. That command becomes central here. Steadiness outperforms bursts. Bursts feel productive. Steadiness is productive. Bursts burn energy. Steadiness preserves it. Energy preservation matters over long horizons. Burnout ends journeys early. Steadiness sustains them. High performers are not constantly pushing limits. They are consistently meeting standards. Standards are easier to sustain than ambition. Ambition fluctuates. Standards hold. When standards hold, behavior aligns. Alignment produces results. Results reinforce belief. Belief strengthens identity. Identity stabilizes behavior. This cycle is now operating over time. You may not feel dramatic change daily. That is expected. Time magnifies small actions, not daily emotions. Emotion is noise. Consistency is signal. Destiny responds to signal. This is where many lose faith. They do the work. They show up. They stay disciplined. But visible results lag. This lag tests trust. Trust the process. That command is not passive. It is active. Patience. Trust means you continue without immediate confirmation. You act without constant reassurance. This requires confidence. Confidence not in outcome, but in alignment. You trust that aligned behavior over time produces aligned results. This trust reduces anxiety. Anxiety often comes from short horizons. When you expect immediate payoff, delay feels like failure. When you expect long-term payoff, delay feels normal. High performers normalize delay. They do not interpret delay as rejection. They interpret it as development. Development takes time. Time cannot be rushed, but it can be used well. Using time well requires discipline. Discipline is how you respect time. When you waste time, you disrespect future self. When you invest time, you lead future self. This leadership across time is powerful. You become someone who thinks beyond the present, beyond comfort, beyond urgency. You operate with foresight. Foresight improves decisions. Better decisions accumulate. Accumulation shapes destiny. This is not abstract, it is practical. It shows up in how you structure days. You protect mornings. You manage energy. You prioritize essentials. These choices feel small. They are not. They form patterns. Patterns create momentum. Momentum carries you forward even when motivation dips. This is why discipline becomes destiny, not because discipline is dramatic, because it is persistent. Persistence outlasts talent. Persistence outlasts excitement. Persistence outlasts luck. It is dependable. Dependability shapes outcomes. You begin to see your life as a series of trajectories, not isolated moments. This perspective changes how you respond to setbacks. Setbacks become adjustments, not verdicts. You correct course. You do not abandon it. This is long-term thinking in action. Short-term thinkers quit after setbacks. Long-term thinkers adapt. Datation keeps direction intact. Direction matters more than speed. Speed without direction wastes energy. Direction without speed still arrives. A riddle may be slower, but it is certain. Certainty is calming. Calm allows focus. Focus improves quality. Quality compounds. This compounding is now working in your favor. You may not see it daily, but it is happening. This is where the third transformation peak begins. Not emotional, structural. Your identity is stabilizing. You no longer see discipline as effort, you see it as alignment. Alignment feels right. Right does not require motivation. It requires commitment, does not fluctuate. It holds. Hold becomes habit. Habit becomes identity. Identity becomes destiny. This chain is now complete. Final identity installation happens here. You stop thinking of yourself as someone becoming disciplined. You are disciplined. You stop thinking of yourself as someone trying to improve. You are improving. This is subtle but profound. Language changes internally. Less future tense, more present tense. I will be consistent becomes I am consistent. This is not affirmation, it is observation. Observation based on evidence. Evidence builds confidence. Confidence reduces friction. Reduced friction supports sustainability. Sustainability matters now more than ever. You are no longer sprinting toward change. You are walking a long road. Walking requires pacing. Pacing prevents exhaustion. Exhaustion leads to shortcuts. Shortcuts undermine standards. Standards protect destiny. This protection is quiet. You do not announce discipline. You live it. Others may not notice immediately. That is fine. Destiny does not need witnesses during construction. It reveals itself later, at outcomes, at consistency, at reliability, at reputation. Reputation is destiny made visible, not image. Pattern. People know what to expect from you. That expectation is earned. Earned through repeated behavior. Repeated behavior under varied conditions, not just when life is smooth, when it is inconvenient, when it is demanding, when it is monotonous. This is where discipline proves permanence. Permanent discipline shapes permanent outcomes. Temporary discipline creates temporary results. You are no longer temporary. You have stayed long enough. You have repeated long enough. You have endured boredom, pressure, and fatigue. These experiences have installed discipline. It is now part of how you operate. This operation is calm. You are less reactive, less rushed, less desperate for progress. You trust accumulation. Trust changes emotional tone. You feel steadier, not numb. Grounded. Grounded people move with authority. Authority attracts responsibility. Responsibility expands influence. Influence multiplies impact. Impact defines destiny. This chain now extends beyond you. Your discipline affects others, not because you preach, because you model. Modeling is powerful. People notice reliability. They notice follow-through. They notice steadiness. This steadiness becomes a reference point. You become someone others depend on. Dependability is rare. Rarity creates value. Value increases opportunity. Opportunity tests readiness. Readiness is built through discipline. You are ready, not because you feel confident, because you are consistent. Consistency produces readiness. This readiness shows under pressure. Pressure reveals habits. Your habits hold. This holding reinforces belief. Belief stabilizes identity further. This is a reinforcing loop. The third transformation peak intensifies here. You feel less emotional fluctuation. You respond more than react. You think in terms of years, not days. This shift affects decisions. You choose differently. You decline distractions more easily. You say no with clarity. Clarity is kind. It respects time. It respects energy. It respects destiny. You no longer feel pulled in many directions. Your direction is set. Set direction reduces anxiety. Anxiety often comes from conflicting priorities. Conflict drains energy. Alignment restores it. You are aligned. Alignment feels quiet, but it is powerful. It gives you endurance. Endurance allows you to carry responsibility. Responsibility expands influence. Influence shapes environments. This is leadership. Leadership built through discipline, not charisma, not urgency. Consistency, consistency, consistency over time creates trust. Trust creates authority. Authority creates impact. Impact shapes legacy. Legacy is destiny remembered. But legacy is built now, in daily actions, in small decisions, in repeated standards. This realization reframes ordinary days. No day is insignificant. Each day contributes the new frame. Even days that feel flat. Even days without visible progress. Those days matter. They maintain momentum. Momentum keeps trajectory stable. Stability prevents regression. Regression wastes time. Time is precious. You treat it accordingly now. You schedule intentionally. You recover intentionally. You work intentionally. Intentionality replaces impulsiveness. Impulsiveness undermines long-term plans. Intentionality protects them. This protection is subtle, but strong. You may notice impatience at times, a desire for faster confirmation. That desire is natural. Acknowledge it. Do not obey it. Return to the standard. Stay steady. That command matters. Steadiness is not passive. It is disciplined restraint. Restraint from changing direction unnecessarily. Restraint from reacting emotionally. Restraint from abandoning process. Restraint preserves momentum. Momentum accumulates. Accumulation creates outcomes. Outcomes confirm destiny. You are no longer guessing. You are building. Building is deliberate. Deliberate means thoughtful. You consider long-term consequences. You weigh decisions against values. Values guide standards. Boundaries guide standards. Guide behavior. Behavior shapes future. This clarity simplifies life. Fewer internal debates. Fewer emotional swings. More execution. Execution feels grounded. Grounded execution produces reliable results. Reliability is destiny in action. Destiny is not mystical, it is mechanical, it follows rules. Repeat aligned behavior over time, and aligned outcomes follow. Ignore alignment, and drift occurs. You are not drifting, you are directing. Direction requires discipline. Discipline now directs you automatically. You do not have to think about it, you live it. This is the culmination of the work so far, not the end, the installation. Discipline is now embedded. It operates quietly, it guides choices, it filters opportunities, it stabilizes effort. This stability prepares you for the final stage, because destiny is not only about becoming, it is about sustaining standards when attention fades, sustaining integrity when pressure increases, sustaining leadership without validation. This next phase will test permanence, not effort, not motivation, permanence. Can you remain who you have become? That question is coming. For now, anchor this truth. Your future is built quietly, daily, deliberately. Stay steady. Trust the process. Say it internally. Stay steady. Trust the process. This is not reassurance. It is instruction. Instruction for long horizons. Instruction for long horizons. Instruction for destiny-level thinking. You are no longer reacting to life. You are shaping it, one standard at a time. And as this chapter closes, feel the weight of that responsibility. Not heavy, grounded, because discipline is no longer something you use, it is something you are, and what you are is what your future will become. Chapter 12. You are the standard now. There is a quiet shift that happens when striving ends, not because effort disappears, but because alignment is complete. You feel it as certainty, not excitement, not urgency, certainty. You no longer wake up asking who you should be today. You no longer negotiate with standards. You no longer search for permission. You move. This is what embodiment feels like. You are no longer chasing standards. You are the standard. That sentence carries weight. Not pride, responsibility. Because when you become the standard, your behavior sets tone, your presence sets expectation, your consistency becomes reference. This is calm authority, authority without volume, authority without explanation. It does not push, it holds. Holding is powerful. You hold your word, you hold your pace, you hold your composure. Composure is leadership presence. Presence is not charisma. It is stability. People feel stability. They relax around it. They trust it. They follow it. This trust is not requested. It forms. You did not arrive here accidentally. You built this through repetition, through pressure, through finishing, through discipline lived daily. Now those efforts have integrated. You are no longer managing behavior consciously. Behavior flows from identity. This flow reduces friction. You move cleanly. Decisions feel simpler, not because options vanished, because standards filter them. You know what fits. You know what does not. Clarity removes noise. Noise once demanded attention. Now it passes unnoticed. This is maturity. Maturity does not react to everything. It responds selectively. You have learned restraint. Restraint does not mean hesitation. It means precision. Precision reflects mastery. Mastery is quiet. It does not announce arrival. It simply operates. You are operating now. Not trying, not preparing. Operating. This is a different posture. Your body reflects it. Your voice reflects it. Your timing reflects it. You are not rushed. Rush signals uncertainty. Certainty slows movement, not because there is no urgency, but because there is no doubt. Doubt once drained energy. That drain is gone. Your energy is contained. Contained energy is powerful. It does not scatter. It directs. Direction gives presence. Presence commands attention without asking. People notice when someone is settled. Settled does not mean static. It means grounded. Grounded people can move forcefully without losing balance. Balance is leadership. Leadership presence is felt before it is understood. You do not need to speak much. When you do, words land. They land because they are backed by consistency. Consistency creates credibility. Credibility creates authority. Authority creates influence. Influence now extends beyond intention. It happens naturally. You no longer try to influence. You embody a way of operating that others recognize. Recognition is quiet at first. subtle shifts. People check with you. They wait for your response. They notice your steadiness. This is not hierarchy. It is gravity. Gravity does not chase objects. It attracts them. You have become gravitational, not through dominance, through reliability. Reliability is rare. You built it deliberately. Now it defines you. This definition simplifies leadership. You do not need to manage impressions. You do not need to defend standards. You live them. Living standards consistently is more convincing than explaining them. Explanation invites debate. Embodiment ends it. This is why you no longer argue internally. Your internal dialogue is quieter. Not because challenges disappeared, because you trust your response. Trust is foundational. You trust yourself to act aligned. You trust yourself to hold pressure. You trust yourself to finish. This trust eliminates anxiety. Anxiety came from uncertainty. Will I follow through? Will I stay consistent? Will I revert? Those questions no longer dominate. You know. Knowing is calm. Calm is strength. Strength expressed calmly is authority. This authority does not intimidate, it reassures. Others feel safer around grounded leadership. Safety allows collaboration. Collaboration extends impact. Impact now moves beyond self-improvement. You are influencing environments, not intentionally. Inevitably, every space you enter adjusts slightly. Standards rise subtly. Behavior sharpens, expectations clarify. This is leadership without instruction. You do not need to correct loudly. Your example corrects. You do not need to motivate. Your presence motivates. This is not mysticism, it is pattern recognition. People respond to stability. You are stable. Stability does not mean inflexibility, it means coherence. Your values, actions, and identity align. Alignment is felt, you feel it internally. Less tension, less self-doubt, less emotional fluctuation. You still feel emotion, but emotion no longer directs behavior, you direct behavior. This direction is steady. Steadiness allows long-term vision. You think beyond immediate outcomes, beyond approval, beyond urgency. You think in terms of legacy, not reputation. Impact. Impact is built through consistency over time. You are now capable of sustaining consistency. This capability changes what you can attempt. You no longer limit goals based on motivation. You assess based on standards. Standards are dependable. Dependability expands possibility. You commit to larger responsibilities, not because you crave challenge, because you can hold it. Holding capacity matters. Capacity is not visible. It is revealed under demand. You have been tested, you stayed, you adapted, you finished. These experiences installed resilience. Resilience now feels normal. Normal does not excite, it endures. Endurance is leadership's true test. You are no longer proving yourself, you are expressing yourself. Expression feels lighter, less effortful. Effort is directed outward. You are not fighting yourself anymore. Self-conflict is gone. Internal alignment is complete. This alignment frees attention. Freed attention allows observation. You see patterns others miss. You anticipate issues. You respond early. This foresight increases effectiveness. Effectiveness builds confidence in others. They trust your judgment. Trust deepens influence. Influence extends reach. Reach amplifies impact. Impact fulfills purpose. Purpose feels grounded, not dramatic. Grounded purpose does not seek validation. It operates. You are operating. This is full embodiment. You are not wearing discipline. You are discipline. You are not performing leadership. You are leadership. This does not inflate ego. It dissolves it. There is less need to assert, less need to assert, less need to win arguments. Winning arguments feel small now. You prefer building outcomes. Outcomes matter. They remain after conversations end. Your focus has shifted from appearance to substance, from noise to structure, from intensity to consistency. Consistency defines you now. People may describe you as calm, as reliable, as steady. They may not understand why they feel confident around you. That understanding is unnecessary. Results explain themselves. You no longer need to tell your story. Your behavior tells it. This frees mental space. You are less preoccupied with self-image. You are present. Presence is rare. Most people are distracted by devices, by opinions, by internal chatter. You are not immune, but you are regulated. Regulation allows presence. Presence deepens connection. Connection improves collaboration, multiplies effectiveness. Your leadership is now relational, multiplies effectiveness. Your leadership is now relational, not positional. You do not need authority granted. It is recognized. Recognition arrives quietly, sometimes delayed. That is acceptable. You are not dependent on it. Dependency weakens leadership. Independence strengthens it. You are independent, not isolated. Independent in standards. Independent in decision-making. Independent in self-command. This independence allows partnership. Partnership among equals. Leadership among equals is powerful. It requires mutual respect. Respect is earned. You earned it through discipline, through finishing, through consistency. Now you hold it through discipline, through finishing, through consistency. Now you hold it. Holding respect requires integrity. Integrity is consistency under pressure. You have proven that. You have faced pressure. You have not lowered standards. You have adjusted methods. That flexibility within structure is advanced leadership. Rigid leaders break. Rigid leaders break. You are neither. You are structured and adaptive. This balance is rare. Rare qualities create value. Value attracts responsibility. Responsibility expands scope. Scope increases influence. Influence magnifies impact. Impact shapes outcomes beyond you. This is where leadership transcends self. Your standards now affect others' standards. Not because you demand, because you model. Modeling is powerful. It bypasses resistance. People resist instruction. They absorb example. You are example now. This realization carries responsibility. Responsibility not to be perfect. Responsibility to remain aligned. Alignment must be protected, not aggressively, consistently. Consistency protects alignment. Alignment protects leadership. Leadership protects impact. This chain must be maintained. You are capable. You have proven it. You did not arrive here by accident. You stayed through boredom. You held through pressure. You finished when others drifted. You trusted the process. Now the process trusts you. This trust feels different. It feels like ease, not ease of effort, ease of alignment. You do not wake up resisting the day. You engage it. Engagement feels purposeful. Purpose stabilizes energy. Energy directed purposefully creates sustained output. Sustained output builds momentum. Momentum now feels natural. You are not forcing it. It carries you. This momentum will continue. Unless standards drop. Standards do not drop automatically. They drop through neglect. You are not neglectful. You are deliberate. Deliberateness is your baseline. This baseline matters. It determines response. When pressure increases, you return to baseline. Your baseline is high. High baseline protects against collapse. Collapse happens when baseline is low. You have raised it. You live there now. Living at a high standard feels normal. Normal does not impress. It stabilizes. Stability is the platform for excellence. Excellence is sustained performance. Sustained performance creates trust. Trust creates leadership. Leadership creates change. Change is now possible at scale. Scale demands endurance. Endurance you have, not because you are exceptional, because you are consistent. Consistency is accessible. Few choose it. You did. Now it defines you. You may feel a sense of completion here, not an ending, a settling. The work is not over. It never is, but the foundation is set. You are not building from scratch anymore. You are building from structure. Structure supports expansion. Expansion invites new challenges. New challenges will test standards again, but you are not starting over. You were starting higher. This matters. You will face moments of doubt again. Doubt visits everyone, But doubt will not control you. You have reference. You know who you are. Identity anchors response. Response determines outcome. You have closed the loop. Standards led to discipline. Discipline led to consistency. Consistency led to identity. Identity led to leadership. Leadership now feeds standards. You are the standard now. This means something important. You cannot outsource integrity. You cannot blame inconsistency. You cannot hide behind potential. You are accountable. Accountability is not pressure. It is clarity. Clarity simplifies. You know what is expected of you. You set the expectation. This self-set expectation is powerful. It removes external dependence. You do not wait for direction. You create it. You do not wait for permission. You act responsibly. Responsibility is leadership. Leadership is responsibility accepted. You have accepted it. This acceptance feels grounded, not heavy. Grounded responsibility energizes. It gives direction. Direction focuses effort. Focused effort creates results. Results reinforce confidence. Confidence stabilizes leadership. This loop is complete. Now it runs continuously. Your role is to maintain alignment. Alignment is maintained through awareness. Awareness of drift. Drift can happen slowly. You are attentive. You notice early signs. Fatigue, distraction, rationalization. You respond. You recalibrate. You do not panic. You adjust. Adjustment keeps standards intact. Standards intact keep identity intact. Identity intact sustains leadership. This maintenance is ongoing, but it is not exhausting. It is integrated. Integration reduces effort. You do not have to think about standards. You notice when something does not fit. That intuition guides you. Intuition is refined experience. You have experience now. Experience under pressure. Experience finishing. Experience staying steady. That experience informs judgment. Judgment improves decisions. Decisions shape outcomes. Outcomes reinforce identity. Identity now feels solid. Solid does not mean rigid. It means reliable. Reliable leaders create reliable environments. Reliable environments support growth. Growth now extends beyond you. This is impact. Impact is the measure of leadership, not attention, not popularity. Impact. Impact takes time. You understand time now. You respect it. You use it deliberately. Deliberateness defines your days. Your days define your future. Your future is unfolding, not randomly, deliberately. You may feel calm. This calm is earned. It is the calm of alignment, the calm of certainty, the calm of someone who knows they will do what they say. This calm is your presence. Presence is felt. You do not need to amplify it. It speaks quietly. Others adjust. This adjustment is leadership. Leadership without force. Leadership without noise. Leadership through being. Being aligned. Being consistent. Being reliable. Being the standard. This is not the end of ambition. It is the end of insecurity. Ambition now comes from purpose, not from proving. Proving is exhausting. Purpose is sustaining. You are sustained. Purpose is sustaining. You are sustained. You will continue to grow. Growth is now normal. Normal growth is powerful. It compounds. You may not notice daily, but years will. Years will reveal trajectories. You are on a strong one. That trajectory is not accidental. It was built through choice, through repetition, through discipline, through finishing, through steadiness, through trust. You trusted yourself. You honored standards. You stayed. Now you lead. Say the affirmations. Say them slowly. Let them settle. I rise, not to impress. To align. I decide, not to impress. To align, I decide, not emotionally. Deliberately, I lead, not loudly, consistently. These are not hopes. They are descriptions. You rise because you operate at a higher standard. You decide because you trust your judgment. You lead because your presence stabilizes others. This is embodiment. This is completion. This is leadership installed. You are the standard now. Carry it quietly. Carry it consistently. Carry it forward, because what you have become is not temporary, it is integrated, and integration is permanent. You have arrived at something steady, not an ending, an installation. You no longer wait for motivation, you move because alignment exists. You act because standards hold. This journey reshaped how you operate. You stopped negotiating with yourself. You learned to hold pressure. You finished what others abandoned. You became consistent without noise. What changed was not your environment, it was your identity. Your standard is now internal. It does not depend on mood. It does not require permission. It does not need witnesses. You lead yourself quietly. You decide before emotion speaks. You follow through when effort feels ordinary. You correct without drama. You continue without applause. This is calm victory, not celebration. Certainty. Certainty that you can be trusted. Certainty that you will respond aligned. Certainty that you do not drift. From here forward, life will continue to test you. Pressure will return. Discomfort will appear. Distraction will invite you. But the difference is permanent. You no longer ask who you should be. You know. You carry your standard with you into work, into relationships, into decisions, into silence. This is leadership, not over others, over yourself. Now the call is simple. Live it daily. Protect it consistently. Raise it deliberately. Stand up, not for attention, for alignment. Focus, not on outcomes, on standards. You rise now, not emotionally, structurally. Say the affirmations, let them anchor you. I am ready, I rise, I decide who I become. And then allow the quiet, no rush, no noise, just direction. This is who you are now. Carry this identity forward with patience, humility, and resolve, knowing that consistency will continue shaping outcomes, relationships, and opportunities long after this moment ends, as you choose alignment daily and allow discipline to guide every step ahead, with calm confidence and enduring responsibility.
You made it to the end. That already says something about you. Most people stop early. You stayed. If this audiobook challenged you, if it sharpened your focus, if it reminded you of who you're becoming, then don't let this be a one-time moment. This channel exists for people who choose growth, discipline over comfort, clarity over noise, progress over excuses. If you want more audiobooks like this, more mindset training, more leadership, more inner strength, subscribe, like this video so it reaches the people who need it, and share it with someone who's ready to rise but hasn't found the words yet. Stay consistent, protect your mind, and keep moving forward. This is only the beginning.